Alright guys, this video didn't go as planned. It was supposed to be a seat install video. My buddy Harry let me borrow his Recaro pole position ABEs, specially reupholstered by Studio 60 to look like, authentic NSX-R seats. But something happened. Let me tell you what happened. So you're gonna see some video of me with my Brid Stradia 3 in here. What I wanted to do after I installed the pole position was to see the difference in height. I like to sit low in the car, and these seats sit very low. Brid, or Bride, however you want to say it, they make their own seats and rails, and they make this rail specifically to work with this seat. That's what the whole Lomax system is. Lomax is not a type of seat, it's a seating position that they basically say that, they try to maximize the low position of every seat. Anyway, their seats sit low is what the point is. So I was having trouble mounting up that pole position seat right there on the rail and getting the right angle and whatnot. And long story short, I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and start measuring the seat without a rail just to see what the height is. So I'll insert the video of my Brid seat right now, showing you that the height is about 23.5 centimeters. All right, so I laid my level across the center console. I leveled it. It's flat right now, and this level ends up being right in the middle of my seat. So I'm just going to measure about straight down, and it's roughly 23.5 centimeters. Or 230 millimeters towards the, and that's from the center of that level, which is roughly about 1 centimeter away from my emblem. The seat does slope a little bit, so it does get a little bit lower towards the butt, but in order to make things a little kind of equivalent measurement, that's where I'm going to measure, and that's where I'll measure my other seat. And here's again the ABE just sitting on the ground. There's no rail. It's sitting on the floor pan with it fully down, and the level basically where it was for my Brid. You can see here that it's at about 19 or so centimeters. So we're roughly 4.5 centimeters higher. So the lower gap between the seat and the rail means that this seat sits higher than my Brid. My Brid measured at 23.5 centimeters. This is measuring at 19. So that's about 4.5 centimeters difference. It'll be worse if I tilt it back to where it should be, because the measuring point will be even higher. So it'll be even, it's at 17 now. So yeah, unfortunately, this is not a seat install video. These seats look really good. One of the reasons why I love them and why Harry loves them is because they look like NSX Type R seats, which fit the cabin of the NSX very nicely. I can admit the Stradia 3s are not the best looking seat, but this is a case of me valuing function over form. So for me, not everything is form. I do like a good looking car, of course. I do like parts that look better, like seats. I do like the small Recaro logo, of course, way better than everything that's going on right there in that Brid seat. I do like the oval harness hoops rather than these weird oblong looking, blob looking harness holes that a lot of people don't like. I'm with you all there. However, I am not going to take a seat that sits me 4.5 to 6.5 centimeters higher than what I would like to be. I would actually even love it if I could get these seats to sit even lower. That's where I want to be. So higher is no bueno. So that's why, unfortunately, I'm not going to be installing these seats, although I love how they look. So I am going to be going back to these seats. Again, function over form. I do like these seats. I don't think they're ugly, but if they look like those seats, I would love them even more. but everything that goes into the seat, from the height to the low height to the ability for them to recline to get the perfect angle. I don't have to worry about messing with brackets and getting the right angle. I don't have to worry about seatbelt extensions. I was going to use a seatbelt extension to get a seatbelt through the harness hole. You don't have to worry about that with reclining seats. This seat is carbon backed. It wasn't cheap, but you know, these other seats are fiberglass. You can get carbon backed ABEs, but they're not cheap either. And so, you know, the compromise on this bridge seat is that it doesn't look the greatest. But again, I don't hate the way it looks either. I am happy that they came out with a full red one, because I did have the normal non-king versions with the carbon shoulder stripes. I really didn't like that at all. So I think that's it for this video. Just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, I did try to install these seats, but you know, it gets into my philosophy of building cars, which is I only make certain sacrifices, right? There's a give and take, right? Like you either, you know, it's not one or the other. It's not, I'm building, you know, if I was building like a show car or something and I barely drove the car and I only wanted the Type R look, then I would be fine going with that seat. But I do value my seating position a hell of a lot, and so I will be just sticking with these seats. And you know, this was a learning experience too, in that I probably will not find another seat that's I will value as much as these in terms of seating position. And also, I didn't mention earlier, but the width of it, this seat is very good too. Just the way it feels like a bucket seat. It definitely feels like it holds you more than this seat as a bucket. This seat, I feel like, maybe because the padding is pretty thick too, that I still feel like I'm sitting on top of the seat, versus this one I feel like I'm sitting in the seat. So even though it is reclining, it does feel sportier and like that it hugs me more than that seat. I think because the bolsters are higher. So, but anyway, that's it for this video. Just a quick update on what I was planning to do but did not end up doing. So we will see you in the next one.